myself, I filled it in. No time for that doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walk the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Used to lose, built the win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for that doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dave's Doghouse on a nice, bright, sunny Saturday. Hope everybody's doing great today. Voice is a little raspy, but hopefully I can still give you guys some good content. Shout out to the first two comments. My guy Daniel saying what's up, and then my guy Blaze. Put Mark in the Doghouse, please. Look, that's coming up at the end of the year. End of the year is when I do the Doghouse for the year, so you'll get it after that. And everybody will have to send me in their votes. Whoever gets the most is going to be put in the doghouse. I can promise that. But like I said, thank y'all for tuning in today. We got some really exciting news about today. You know, this is episode 43. We're closing in on 50 episodes for Dave's Doghouse and closing into 100 subscribers. So if you're watching right now, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button. So whenever I go live or post a video, you'll get notified as soon as I do so. These videos will be broken down right after the show. So you'll get them at least by Monday or Tuesday, all broken down. And man, just enjoy the show today. I can't wait to get started. We actually have something that hasn't happened in a while on this show. We have some people coming out of the doghouse today. It hasn't happened, but they finally out. You know, it's been a long time coming. So as you can see, it's a lot of people, teams, organizations, sports analysts, whatever you name it, translators, they all are here. And there's a lot of these people that are coming out of the doghouse today. So, what I will do is just bring up everybody who's coming out of the doghouse. I'm not going to go one by one. I'm just going to bring up everybody that's coming out of the doghouse. So, this here is everyone that's out of the doghouse. You got Tyler Hero, Brandon McManus, Jamar Chase, the Washington Capitals, Notre Dame football team, the Detroit Tigers, and the Kansas City Royals. All of these teams and individuals have either started the year good or made the playoffs. And Brandon McManus' case, his case was he was involved in the sexual assault case, and he was absolved from that. He is now on the NFL team right now, so he's allowed to come out of the doghouse. Tyler Hero has been the most consistent Miami Heat player in the NBA this season so far. Not Jimmy, not Bam Adebayo. It's been Tyler Hero, who scored at least 24 plus points when we played against good teams. So there you go. Jamar Chase, I'll talk about him later, but you'll understand why he's out of the doghouse now. Washington Capitals have actually started well this year. I believe they won seven out of 8 games so far, but Washington Capitals are actually playing well. Ovechkin is close to breaking the record as well, so you got that. Notre Dame football team, I mean, it's a ranked team in the country now, one of the best teams in the country, at least top 10. So You got that. Detroit Tigers were in the playoffs, the same with the Kansas City Royals. So all of those people are out of the doghouse today. So, good job for all of them. Only thing they get. Yeah, sorry, we had some technical difficulties, but let's get it. Now, we get to talk about those who will be getting served puppy chow for this week. This should be a very exciting show. I hope you people will understand where I'm coming from when it comes to this. But this team here just has not played well this year. Not saying that they were expected to do a lot, because they weren't, but they weren't expected to look this bad, honestly. Signing a veteran quarterback, having a star wide receiver, a great defensive player for their team. Brand new head coach that came in last year and actually helped them, win some games at the end of the season. They missed the playoffs, but they won some games at the end of the season. They felt very, very proud of how they was going it. They lost their star running back, who is now with the Packers. Let me not make you guys wait any longer. It's the Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders are 2-7 on the season, y'all. 2-7 on the season. They are 29th ranked in total offense. They are also 19th in passing yards per game. They are last in the league in rushing yards per game at 76.9 yards per game. 76.9. That's it. Also, 26 in points, only averaging 18.7 points per game. It's not going to win you games. Raiders are also one of the worst teams in the NFL in defensive efficiency and red zone touchdown rate. 59.1%. That's where they are with that. 59.1%. Then you go and look at yards allowed on defense. 13th in the league, 325 yards passing allowed per game. So passing defense is not good. Rushing defenses also not good. This team is just bad all around. I know my guy Joe had high hopes for them this year, but they just don't look well. They look absolutely horrendous right now. And they're just one of the few teams that look like that. Now, these are some of the games that they played in. They've actually won one game out of their last 6. 1-6 in their last 6 games. They have lost to the Bengals, the Chiefs, the Rams, the Steelers, and the Broncos. Now, some of these teams you can understand. But against the Broncos, they allowed 34 points. They only scored 18 points in that game. It was on the road, but still. Then at home against the Steelers, they put up a measly 13 points. Not going to win your games. Then they go on the road to play the Rams. 15 points. Go play the Raiders. They finally put up 20 points. And then when they put up more points the next week against the Bengals, they allowed the Bengals to put up 41 points on them. Now, we know the Bengals are a high-power offense. We saw what happened Thursday night. But the Raiders just look bad. They just look bad. And in the first 3 games, they were 1-2. Losing the first game to the Chargers 22-10. Then they have a miraculous win, which is the best win they have this year against the Ravens on the road. And then the next week against the Carolina Panthers, who was considered the worst team in the NFL coming into this season, they allow Andy Dalton and the Carolina Panthers to put up 36 points on them in their house. Andy Dalton in that game was 26 to 37 through 319 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game. Had an 86.7 QBR and a quarterback rating of 123.6. It's just they are last in their division right now. Last in the division. I mean, the division is with the Chiefs, the Raiders, and the Broncos, though. But I was expecting them to be at least be a bit more competitive than where they are right now. At least as competitive as the Denver Broncos. But that clearly is not the case. So you got that going for them. So the Raiders are just terrible. That's all you can really say about it. They're just absolutely terrible. So that's all I can really say about them. They lost their star wide receiver, traded him to the Jets. Devontae Adams is no longer there. Say they don't really have any weapons out there. They do have a tight end, Brock Bowers, rookie tight end out of Georgia, who's playing phenomenal this year. Number 1 fantasy tight end in the league. But other than that, they can't get nothing else going. Run game can't get going. Zeus White is not, not putting up enough yards, and that could be because of the offensive line. Who knows? But at the end of the day, production is production. He's not doing much. Josh Jacob is now with the Green Bay Packers, having a good season. The Raiders just bad, man. Raiders are just bad. So, all I can say is you're in the doghouse now. You're going to be eating some puppy chow. What are you going to do to get out of it? Are you going to win some games, or are you going to compete at the end of the season, or are you going to be here until next season? Are you going to make some moves? I mean, you can't do much now. The trade deadline is over. So I don't know what you're going to do. Maybe your season is whatever. You may plan on drafting Shadur Sanders. Who knows what you plan on doing? But at this very moment, you are in the doghouse, and you're going to be here for the foreseeable future until you do something to get yourselves out of it. So, Raiders, you're in the doghouse. My guy, you're in the doghouse. Next up is the one and only team. Used to be one of the, I won't say story franchises, but at least a somewhat respected franchise, especially when they were in Houston, when they had Warren Moon, Houston Oilers, then they became the Tennessee Titans. You know what they were with Steve McNair and Eddie George. Now, I mean, what is there to talk about for the Tennessee Titans? Tennessee Titans are also 2-7. They've also had games where they've gotten blown out. They lost to the Detroit Lions, who I'll be talking about later, 52-14. Jared Goff had his worst QBR of the year in that game at 16.2, and they still won that game. He was 12 of 15, threw for only 85 yards, and he threw 3 touchdowns. But guess what? David Montgomery also threw for a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs had 11 carries for 127 yards and a touchdown. He averaged 11.5 yards per carry. He had his longest run was for 70 yards. This is what I've been calling the Tennessee Titans so far this year. As you notice what they've doing, they lost players like AJ Brown, traded away Kevin Byard, just traded away DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is now with the Kansas City Chiefs. What? The Tennessee Titans are a team full of talent, which is it's a wasteland of talent, pretty much. Because you went and got some defensive players to help you guys out, and your passing defense is actually phenomenal. But everything else is just questionable. Your offense can't do anything, whether it's Will Levis, whether it's Mason Rudolph. It doesn't matter who you put out there. Your offense just can't do anything. It can't do anything. Then you trade your backup tight end, your backup quarterback to the Packers. He at least plays a little bit better than Will Levis. I mean, Will Levis was out with injury. I understand that. But even when he was there, it's not like the offense was flowing. He made countless idiotic mistakes, fumbling the ball, giving the ball away. It just it didn't look like his head was in the game. It's for me, it's just like, what are the Titans thinking right now? Like, what? This is their rankings, right? So they are actually second in red zone touchdown percentage, which means their defense is actually pretty good. But you go out and do something like that and allow 50-something points. And it's not like Jared Goff threw the ball all over the field. He only had 85 passing yards. But you couldn't stop the run to save your life. And your defense is allowing 26.6 points per game. That's almost 27 points per game your defense is allowing. It's not good. It's not good at all. It's just not good. It's terrible. Terrible. Passing yards, like I said, number one in passing yards allowed. You only allow 155.8 yards per game in passing, but everything else just defensive yards. Number one in defensive yards, 269.1. But I don't know. I don't know if it's coaching that you guys need, or you just need a new GM, a new owner, but something needs to change in Tennessee. This ain't what we remember from just a couple seasons ago. You know, you had Derrick Henry there. Now he's in Baltimore shining. Last year, we couldn't recognize Derrick Henry. Now he's in Baltimore. He looks like top dog in the league. If not him, Saquon. Can't say nothing about CMC because he's been out all year, so he's not in the conversation. But come on. And you keep getting fleeced by the Eagles. Every single time you make a trade with the Eagles, you get fleeced. And then you give DeAndre Hopkins to the reigning Super Bowl champions. Like, come on. You could have sent him anywhere else, so you sent him to the Chiefs. I don't know, man. I'm just, like I said, Tennessee Titans are a wasteland of talent. That's exactly what it is. I say what you want in the comments, don't matter, but look, that's just terrible. Tennessee Titans, you're in the doghouse.
My guy, you in the doghouse.
All right, now, next up for the doghouse will be none other than the place that one of the most notable rappers of all time is from, Lil Wayne. Where the Super Bowl will be played at this year, the New Orleans Saints are also going to be served puppy chow for the foreseeable future until now. This team is also pretty bad. Saints are 25th in scoring defense, allowing 25.4 points per game. This was supposed to be a team that was known for being a good defense. Not a great defense, not an excellent defense, but a good defense. but you're allowing 25.4 points per game. Your passing defense is not what it used to be either. Your passing defense has gotten worse. It's not even top 15 passing defense. Alvin Kamara seems like he's being wasted over there. Chris Olave keeps getting hurt because of Derek Carr throwing him into concussions. You just fired Dennis Allen. And now you have an interim head coach in there. What are y'all going to do now? Chris Olave is out for 4 games. He's on IR. That was announced today. And they're trying to see if he's even going to play football again because he's had 5 concussions in 5 years. 2 this year. 2. You got Rashid Shaheed. You just traded away Marshawn Lattimore. You traded him to the Washington Commanders. You went and signed Chase Young. He ain't doing much for you right now. You still got Cam Jordan. What's up? What y'all gonna do? Are y'all just gonna be this bad for the rest of the season? Y'all tanking too. I'm guessing y'all want to see if y'all gonna get Shadur Sanders or Travis Hunter. I guess that's what y'all looking at. I don't get some of these teams, man. And the crazy thing is, you started off the season as if you were going to shock everybody. You put up 40 points against the Panthers and the Cowboys. And people thought that y'all were going to be shining because the Cowboys were a playoff team last year. I mean, we see what the Cowboys have been doing now. They haven't played pretty well. Dak Prescott is out for at least 4 weeks. Could be more. Could be season ending. We don't know yet. But just in the few games that I've seen, well, the 7 straight games you've lost, you scored 12 points against the Eagles. Then you lose by 2 against the Falcons. You lose by double digits to the Chiefs. You lose by double digits to the Buccaneers. You lose by double digits to the Broncos. You lose by double digits to the Chargers. And then you lose to the team that you beat by 30 just this past Sunday. And you put up a measly 8 points against the Chargers. 8. Wow. What was that going to get you? You are losers of 7 straight games after you put up 40-plus points in your very first 2 games. And your team hasn't come close to putting up that. Since then, you've only put up 20. You've put up 23 times since then. Look, man, Baker Mayfield had a day against y'all. When y'all played against the Bucs came in your house. He put up 51 points in New Orleans. 4 touchdowns, and he threw 3 picks, and you still lost the game. Bo Nix, when he played against the Denver Broncos, he didn't even do that much. He threw for 164 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. He didn't even get sacked in that game. You couldn't even get a sack on Bo Nix. But Javonte Williams had 2 rushing touchdowns in that game. And then they had some defensive scores because Derek Carr just couldn't handle the ball, so he fumbled. Cody Barton got a fumble recovery for a touchdown. So you got that. Shout out to my guy Vaughn for calming puppy child. And shout out to wifey. Appreciate you, baby, for always watching me and supporting me. But man, These Saints, man, you gotta do better. Have to do better. But this next one that I'm going to talk about, I got some words for this team. Well, this side of the team, this side of the ball for this team. But Saints, I got not much to say for you, but you're in the doghouse, so enjoy the puppy chow. My guy, you in the doghouse. All right. I'm not about to make this any longer than it needs to be, but I got to talk about this side of the ball for this team. And this is my favorite college football team, University of Miami. It's the defense. The defense for the University of Miami is one of the worst in the league. It ranks 64th in the country altogether. And we're 9-0. Number 4 in the country, 9-0. But 64th in the country in defense. What is the issue here? Is it the coaching? Is it the talent? I don't know. But all I know is Tyler Barron is top 5 in pressures. Ruben Bain was out, but he's also a really good sophomore. He was great last year as a freshman. We got another freshman corner who is a shutdown corner right now. But everybody else just can't seem to do nothing right. We are allowing 215 yards per game. Just passing. And 11 yards per pass. 11 yards per completion, y'all. 11 yards per completion. Just, I don't get it. We've allowed 13 passing touchdowns so far this year. I mean, it don't seem like a lot, but it's to me it's a little ridiculous. The teams have almost thrown over 2,000 yards on our defense. Our quarterback is thrown for over 2,000 yards. So just imagine someone all year just having a good game against us. That's what's been going on with our defense so far. We are 48th in rushing defense. 48th. We're top 12. This is the good part. Top 12 and third down conversion. So we get stops on third down. However, fourth down, we give it up entirely too much. We are tied for 82nd in the league in fourth down conversions this year. 82nd in the league, and we are a top 5 team. I hear some Miami Hurricane fans talking about winning the Natty, winning it all. I'm going to be brutally honest. There is no way we can win the national title if we don't play better defense. It's not going to happen. We got to take care of business today against Georgia Tech first. Because that's a revenge game from last year from the boneheaded play that happened with Mario Cristobal calling something on freaking third down when we should just took a knee. My goodness. Opponents get in the red zone a lot on our defense. We are tied for 84th in red zone defense. We are 53rd in the country in scoring defense. 53rd in the country. The first 3 games, the most points we allowed was 17 points in the first game against Florida. Florida A&M, we beat them 56-9. And then Ball State, we beat them 62-0. Okay, I get that. South Florida beating 50-15. Cool. Then comes Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech puts up 34 points in that game. We win because we put up 38. So, I mean, we outscoring people. Then it gets Cal. They put up 38 points on that defense. We won because we put up 39. And it's questionable that we even won that game because of the last Hail Mary. So you got that. Louisville put up 45 points against us. We won because we put up 52. Florida State, I mean, we only put up 14 points. We only allowed 14 points. We put up 36, but that was a close game at halftime. It's Florida State. Florida State's not good. And then it gets Duke, who's right above us in defense. Like just a smidge. They're 52nd in scoring defense. We're 53rd. They put up 31 points on this defense. We won because we put up 53. This defense is not going to go far if we continue to play defense like this. This is a putrid performance by this defense. It is absolutely terrible, horrendous, whatever you want to call it. It's not good whatsoever. If we want to win games and be known as a great team, a national team that can compete with people like Texas, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, like, we got to play better defense. It's not happening right now. And until I see something better, this is what's going to happen. You're going to be in the doghouse. I get it. We're not to know, but this defense got to get a lot better. So listen to me, Mario. Talk to your defensive coordinator. Talk to your guys. They need to get it together. Because even though we play Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, and Syracuse for our last 3 games, that means in the ACC championship, it's possible we play SMU, who is also undefeated in ACC play. So get it together and play better. But right now, Miami Hurricanes defense, you are in the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. Man, I don't. I'm not sure what to say about this team, but my goodness. All right, next up. So team in Milwaukee, I got to talk about. It's the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, I know for the year, they were put in the doghouse by my guy, Ty. But the Bucks are now 2-7 on the season. Last year, they didn't reach their 7th loss until December 7th. December 7th. It is November 9th. It's a whole month ahead, and you already have 7 losses this season. And it's not like Dame and Giannis have missed every single game. You want to know why they're so bad? Well, last night, they allowed Karl Anthony Towns to put up 32 points in 32 minutes. So that means every minute he was out there, he got a bucket. 11 rebounds, 5 assists. He was 4 of 8 from 3. Back-to-back 30-point games for Cat. The Bucks are 1-5 in their last 6. In their last 1-4 in their last 5 games. The Milwaukee Bucks were so bad last year. Their lowest defensive rating was 115.8. Guess what it is this year? It's very close. 115.7. 115.7. That's not good. That's not good. That has them ranked 22nd overall in the league. 22nd. They are also 29th in steals. 29th in steals per game. 29th. They only get 6 steals per game. As a team, just 6. And blocks ain't that much better. Only 4. 4.7. Okay, I'll say 5. 5 blocks per game as a team. That ain't enough. You ain't stopping nobody. That puts them at 19th in the league in blocks per game. The Milwaukee Bucks are not playing well. And then last night, you got Giannis telling people they can leave. If you don't want to be here, you can leave. I'm serious. You can leave. Now there's talks that they're looking to go find a defensive guard or a wing. Then I hear other rumors that Giannis is talking about leaving, possibly going to Brooklyn, the Knicks, or Miami Heat. I don't think he's going to Miami Heat. Until I see it happen, I don't believe it. Let's just put it frank. I don't believe it until I see it. But 22nd ranked overall defense. Really, Milwaukee. I said something earlier this year about my NBA Finals prediction. I'm walking that back. I don't know what I was thinking when I said that. I'm walking it back. Milwaukee Bucks are not going to the finals this year. It's not happening. It's not happening. Until someone proves me otherwise, it's going to be either the Celtics or the Cavs. Celtics are the reigning NBA champions, so more than likely it'll be them. Or the Cavs. But it's definitely not going to be the Milwaukee Bucks. If they continue to play like this, they're going to be terrible. So, Milwaukee Bucks, enjoy Puppy Child. My guy, you in the doghouse. And this last one. This last one. Wow. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. This last one. I won't say it breaks my heart. Well, it kind of sort of does. Because this is one of my favorite players on my own team. I had high hopes for him this year. He was in the Olympics. He got another gold medal. He played in some key minutes. He was a leading scorer in one of those games. Had a double-double. Him and AD were dominating on defense when they both were out there. And I'm thinking, all right, my man got a gold medal. He gonna show something this year. So far this year, he ain't showing me nothing. It's one game this year. He's had over 20 points so far this year. I'm talking about Bam Adebayo. Bam. What is going on with you, man? Why is this what I see from you? Did you not care about the NBA season this year? Do you not know that this is possibly Jimmy's last year in Miami? Are we not prepared to go compete to get into the playoffs and not be in the play-in again? What are you doing right now? Are you focused? Are you serious about fighting for a playoff spot, fighting for a championship, or is this a hobby? Bam, you've scored 32 points in one game, and you weren't even in the United States. You were in Mexico City. They called you Mexico City Bam. There were fans even saying, I wish we could play in Mexico City every time because we could see Bam ball out. You can't play well on the home or on the road. You are shooting. So for the season, you're averaging 15.5 points per game, which is your lowest since the bubble year. You're shooting 40% from the field, Bam. And I'm rounding that up for you. It's 39.7, and I gave you 40. That's not good enough. Not only are you shooting, not only are you shooting 40% from the field, you're shooting 20% from three. And there are a lot of people in my NBA chat and people I know, even myself, that said, man, look, just get Bam some more looks, have him shoot more consistently, and maybe he can get it going from three. You're not doing it right now. You're not. I expect more from you, Bam. I really do. And I think you're a phenomenal player. But this is not playing phenomenally right now. Tyler Hero's outplaying you. Jimmy's more consistent than you. Tyler's the one that came with all the questions. He's answering all the questions right now. Jimmy, even though he got hurt last night, he's been more consistent than you have been. Your game logs. In the first game of the season, where we got blown out at home, you put up 9 points, 1 of 5 from the field. Against Charlotte, even though we won the game, 12 points, 6 of 17 from the field. Against Detroit, another game we won, 5 of 9 from the field, 12 points. Got a double-double, 12 of 10. That's cool. Against New York, a team that's going to be in the playoffs this year, 11 points, 3 of 7 from the field, 7 field goals all game. 7. You only had 5 in the first game. Then against Detroit, you only had 9, and only 7 against New York. You had your best game against the Washington Wizards. You were 50% from the field, 32 and 14. Phenomenal game. Phenomenal game. But then you revert back to what you were doing before. Against Sacramento, 16 points, 75 from the field. Then you go against Phoenix. 12 points, 5 of 21 from the field, Bam. And then last night against Denver, 20 points, which is it's cool. 9 rebounds, 7 of 18 from the field. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games you played this year shooting under 50%. Under 50%. Bam. Play better, man. You're a great player. You're a great defensive player too, and I know what you're capable of doing offensively. Please play better. Please, I'm begging you. You're one of my favorite players on the team, and I expect more out of you, Bam. Just do your thing. But for now, you're in the doghouse.
My guy, you in the doghouse.
All right, I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and I'll be back in a minute.
Yo, my name is Lambo Anlo.
This is Dimitri.
This is Ed Hahn.
My name is Daryl Julian, and this is
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse.
All right, everyone. Now it's time for the honorable mention. Honorable mention for me Kay Cunningham. Kay Cunningham has the Pistons with a pretty good record right now. They've been really competing against in games this year. Last night, he put up 22 points, 11 rebounds, 13 assists, had the game-winning bucket and the game-winning block. He has more triple-doubles in the last week than he had in the rest of his career combined. So, Cade is balling. There are only two teams in the Eastern Conference right now that have more wins than the Detroit Pistons. That's the Celtics and the Cavs. That's it. So, shout out to you, Cade, for doing what you need to do for the Detroit Pistons, and you are my honorable mention for the week, so you get a doghouse cry. Okay, now we get to talk about the dogs. Dogs of the week, the ones that have been balling and doing what they need to do for this year. I think I already said that there was someone that I couldn't wait to talk about. And he's giving me every reason to. First up, former wide receiver at LSU, had a phenomenal rookie season. Went to the Super Bowl in his rookie year with his quarterback, who was in his second year, who had a season in the injury the year before. Lost in the Super Bowl to the Los Angeles Rams, a team that's 4-6 on the year, hasn't really looked too good, but he balling. Jamar Chase in Thursday night's game had 11 catches for 264 yards and 3 touchdowns. He caught a 70-yard bomb for a touchdown from Joe Burrow. There are 2 other active wide receivers with 3 or more games of 200-plus receiving yards. Other than Jamar Chase, it's Amari Cooper and Tyreek Hill. You know how good those 2 guys are. He has 3 games with 200-plus receiving yards since entering the league. No other wide receiver has more. Jamar Chase, who started off the year pretty bad, is now statistically the number 1 wide receiver in the league. He has the most catches, the most yards, and the most touchdowns. Through 10 weeks, 66 catches, 981 yards, and 10 touchdowns, averaging 15 yards a catch. Yes, 15 yards a catch. Jamar Chase has played lights out this year against Baltimore. And I'm sorry to Flock Nation, but you know how dangerous he is against you guys. And you have the 32nd rate pass defense in the league. So against the Baltimore Ravens this year, he has 29 targets with 21 catches, 457 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So that means he scored at least 2 touchdowns against you guys twice this year. And you only play him twice a year. Unless you happen to run into him in the playoffs, but we don't know if they're going to make it there. He is showing people why he's one of the best wide receivers in the game, and to me, top 5. Jamar Chase has said it time and time again, I'm always open. Whatever you do, just throw it up there. He'll find a way to get the ball. Jamar Chase is a dog, and he deserves to be the first of many for today's show to get the doghouse growl. So Welcome to the Dogs, Jamar Chase, and great job for getting out of the doghouse. Next up is a team in Detroit who's been balling this year. Number one team in the NFC, was in the NFC Championship game last year. The Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are right now 7-1 on the season. They have a chance to be 8-1 this coming Sunday. Sunday night against the Houston Texans. That's going to be a good game. They are 7th in yards per game. They are 6th in rushing yards per game. But guess who's the number one scoring offense in the league? It's the Detroit Lions. You said, wait, David, you didn't even mention passing yards. Yeah, because you heard me earlier. He had a game against the Titans where he only threw for 85 yards and they still won the game. So that's why you don't hear about passing yards. Red zone touchdown rate, 63.6, top at 8th in the league. Third down offense, 7th in the league at 41.6. So you're converting on third down good enough. The Lions are one of the best teams in the league. I've mentioned what they did to the Tennessee Titans. They just beat the Green Bay Packers. The one loss they have is against the Buccaneers. Other than that, they've beat everybody else. The Lions is like they're ready to make it to the Super Bowl this year. And that's my Super Bowl pick. I said that the Lions will make it to the Super Bowl this year. Someone has to prove it wrong. There are other teams in the NFC that can be in the conversation because of where their record is and, you know, how good they look. The Commanders, you know, number one in the NFC East, number 2 in the NFC. So they have a lot to say about that. The Bucks, they feel like they have a chance, maybe even with the injuries that they have, they may say, hey, we got a chance too. The Falcons, a team I was high on in the offseason. Kirk Cousins looking like Kirk Cousins of old. So you got them. You got other teams that feel like they're being there. But right now, the Lions are, to me, the best team in the NFC right now. And they've played like it so far. They can prove it again going against the Texans this Sunday night. But the Lions are a phenomenal team. And they're proving to not be a losing organization anymore. Dan Campbell's leading this team. Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, who's in the doghouse. But, I mean, oh no. Somebody let me know if you think somebody can beat them. Whoever you think can beat them, put it in the comment section. Just let me know. But right now, they're the big dogs in the NFC. So, welcome to the Dogs. And this really shouldn't come as a surprise. But next up is the reigning Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs are dogs. They're the only undefeated team in the NFL right now. 8-0. They have a chance to go 9-0 at home. And they're playing against the Denver Broncos. Guess who has the best third down offense? Kansas City Chiefs. They're 12th in red zone offense. 10th in points scored. So it's not really their offense. 10th in yards per game. But look at where this defense is, man. Total defense, top 5. Top 5 defense in the league. They're one of only 6 teams that don't allow 300 yards a game. One of 6. Everyone else allows 300 yards per game. Passing defense. People thought that this would be the top, but they're actually only 15th in passing defense, allowing 209.8 yards per game. But it's not a lot. It's the NFL, so 200 yards per game is, that's not nothing detrimental. But here is where they're making their mark. They are 3rd in rushing defense, only allowing 84 yards per game. They have only allowed 5 rushing touchdowns this season. We have teams like the 49ers and the Dolphins who allowed 10 touchdowns on the ground this year. So you got that. The Chiefs they're just a really, really good team. A really, really good team. And best in the AFC right now, until proven otherwise. Until someone knocks them off the course, it's the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs to lose, man. They've won 3 of the last 5 Super Bowl titles. And they're looking to do something that's never been done before in NFL history, and that's 3-peat. It's never been done before. And everyone is pretty much saying that it's going to happen. But there are teams in the AFC that can prove that wrong. You got the Steelers and the Ravens who are in the same division. They're fighting for that. You got the Chargers who are in their division who said, wait, they haven't played us yet, so let's see how they do when they play us. Teams are looking to do whatever they can to stop them. You got the Bills, but no one's going to believe in the Bills because we've seen what Patrick Mahomes does to him and does to Josh Allen and the Bills in the playoffs. So no one's going to say the Bills. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know. The Texans, they play inconsistent this year. So right now it's looking like it's the Chiefs to lose in the AFC. So can't see the Chiefs. I'm sure you're used to this, but welcome to the Dogs. Then the Brow from Kentucky, drafted by the Pelicans, NBA champion, one of the best defenders in the league, leading the MVP race right now, early in the NBA season. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is having a great year so far. Just last night, against the 76ers, he put up 31 points and 9 rebounds. He was 2 of 3 from 3, 11 of 20 from the field. He is first in points per game right now in the league. 9th in rebounds. He's averaging 3 assists and shooting 57% from the field. And his last, like I said, leading the league scoring 32.6 points per game. JJ Redick was asked what he told Anthony Davis before the season. Win MVP. That's what he told him. And guess what? He's leading the MVP race right now so far. This is the list of the Lakers with 190 points in the first 6 games of the season. Elgin Baylor in 1959, in 1961, 62, and 66. Then you got Jerry West in 61 and in 1969, and then Wilt Chamberlain in 1969. You also have Kobe in 05 or 09. So this is the first time a Laker has done this since Kobe in 2009. This season, he's had games where he put up 36, 15, and 4 with 3 blocks. 35, 8, and 4 with 2 blocks. 31, 9, 3 steals and 2 blocks. 29 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks. At one point, he was first in points, first in rebounds, second in steals, and fifth in blocks. Averaging 32 and 12 on 65% true shooter percentage. He is top 5 in fourth quarter scoring this year. Top 5. Only Cam Thomas, Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, and LaMelo Ball average more than him. That's it. No one else. Just those guys. He has played great this year for the Los Angeles Lakers, who, have a lot to look at. You got Bronny, who got drafted this year. They drafted Don Connett out of Tennessee, who's a sharpshooter. He's a baller. You still got Austin Reeves. You still got D'Lo. You got Gabe Vincent on defense. You got LeBron, of course. You got Rui Hachimura. What are the Lakers going to do this year? Can AD stay consistent with this? Can he? So far, it looks like he is. So, AD, the Brow, NBA champion, welcome to the Dogs. And next, this shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody. I know I talked about the defense for this team, but the reason why we've been able to overcome this defense is because of a certain quarterback, and his name is Cam Ward. The Heisman odds right now. He's top 3 in Heisman odds right now. In second half this season, Cam Ward has thrown for 1,484 yards this year, number 1 in the nation. 12 touchdowns, also number 1 in the nation. Passer rating 120.7, that's second in the nation. And I don't really look at this that much, but I guess 88.3 Pro Football Focus grade, which is 4th in the nation. He is the second highest graded quarterback this season. Only Jackson Dart for Ole Miss has a higher rating than he does. Under him is Curtis Rourke out of Indiana and Shadur Sanders, Colorado. Go Buffs, of course. He just won ACC Quarterback of the Week once again, which was a good week for them. It's only 5 undefeated teams in the country right now. That's Miami, Indiana, Oregon, BYU, and Army. Army is probably the most surprising name you've heard. But Army is undefeated. Against Duke, our offense put up 400 yards, 126 rushing yards, or 400 passing yards, 126 rushing yards, 5 passing touchdowns, and 2 rushing touchdowns. So you heard the touchdowns, right? That was all Cam Ward. 25 of 41, 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. And we put 53 in that game. Number 1 offense in the country, University of Miami. No one would have thought that this year. But number 1 offense in the country, University of Miami. Most yards, offensive touchdowns, 54. Well, we're 1 short from Indiana. Indiana has the most offensive touchdowns, but we have 54. We're right there. Yards per game, we own that. Number 1 and 3rd down conversion percentage. We're 8th and 4th down conversion percentage. Number 1 on first down. Top 3 passing offense. 25th in rushing. And scoring offense, number 1 overall. Number 1 overall offense, and that's because this guy, Cam Ward. Because we're only 25th in rushing, so it's not great. Oh, sorry, we're 35th in rushing. Not even that. We're 25th in red zone offense. We're not in the red zone a lot because a lot of our touchdowns are 30 yards plus. We're not, but it's pretty often. Our scoring offense is awesome. And for those who said that we have a pretty good O-line, well, guess what? O-line has allowed 18 sacks this year. May not sound like a lot, but it ain't good. We're right there. We're tied for 69th in the country. We're Air Force. So he's getting pressured. And he's still balling. So great job, Cam Ward. Welcome to the Dogs again. You're my guy. Keep doing it. Zombie land. Let's go win this game today. All right, this next person is also not, he's familiar with being one of the best in the league and one of the most talked about. Drafted out of Texas to the Oklahoma City Thunder. NBA champion, two-time NBA champion, two-time NBA Finals MVP. Played for Brooklyn. Played for the Warriors. Played for the Thunder. And now currently plays for the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant. KD. The Slim Reaper. Trey 5. That's what you want. That's the guy. List of players averaging 27 plus points per game on 66% true shooting percentage for a season. This is the entire list. You got Steph Curry in 2015-2016. Charles Barkley in 87-88. Nikola Jokic just 2 seasons ago. And you got Kevin Durant also 2 seasons ago and this year. So far this year, that's what he's doing. Players that average more than 38 minutes per game at age 36. Will Chamberlain, who was averaging almost 44 minutes a game, and Kevin Durant, 39 minutes per game. There was a point in the season where no one had more 30-point games than Kevin Durant. That's now gone because it's Tatum and Nikola Jokic. He is top 12 in scoring this season. He has the second most fourth quarter points per game this year. And he's the oldest player in the NBA in NBA history to start a season with 4 straight 25-point games. He also surpassed 29,000 career points this year, becoming just the 8th player in NBA history to reach that mark. 5th player in NBA history records 700 career 25-point games. In last night's game against Dallas, put up 26 points, 5 rebounds, 8 of 14 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3. KD's balling. 9th in scoring, averages 6.6 rebounds a game on 55.3% shooting, 3.4 assists per game. KD is doing his thing, man. He's doing his thing. And he's doing it so well that the Phoenix Suns are 7-0 in clutch games this year. They've only played in 9 games. Every game that's came down to the clutch, they've won it. Number 1 seed in the West is the Phoenix Suns. So that's KD, y'all. Y'all know what KD is. Y'all know how great he can be. Welcome to the Dogs again, KD. All right. Next up, also NBA champion, three-time NBA MVP, reigning NBA MVP, plays for the Denver Nuggets, considered the best player in the league, Nikola Jokic. Joker. In the last 40 years combined, every player combined with 30-point triple-doubles on 80% shooting, there's been 3 outside of Jokic. Jokic has 3 himself. 30-point triple-doubles on 80% shooting. That is ridiculous. Last night against the Miami Heat, through 3 quarters, 23 points, 13 assists, 10 rebounds, 9 of 10 from the field. No doubt the best in the world. I already talked about him being on that list. Players that average 27 plus on 66% true shooting percentage. He's one of 6 players averaging 25 and 5 this year. It's Jokic, Luka, Giannis, SGA, Paolo, and RJ Barrett. That's it. No one else. He has a top 10 3-point percentage this season with a minimum 25 attempts with 51.4. That's crazy. That's crazy. He's averaging 28.8 points per game so far. 13. He's first in rebounds and first in assists. He would be the first player in NBA history to lead the league in rebounds and assists in the same season if he plays like this all year. To start the season, 23, 20, and 16, 18, 14, and 13, 27, 16, and 9, 26, 9, and 13, 29, 18, 16, 40, 10, and 4, 41, 9, and 4, 16, 12, and 13. That is crazy numbers. He could very well win the MVP again this year. That could be the second time he's won back-to-back MVPs. That would be crazy. Since the start of last year, the most 15, 15, 15 games, he has 6. The rest of the NBA has 2. He has 6 himself. Like I said, 5th in points right now, 28.9, first in rebounds and assists, and shooting 55.6% from the field. He is balling. So, Joker, I wish you didn't do it against my Heat, but continue to ball. Looks like you're on the road to win your 4th MVP this year. Who knows? Right now, AD is leading in that category, but I know you're in the race. So is Jason Tatum, who was also a dog already. But Jokic, welcome. All right, we're down to our last 2. This one here will be his first time being talked about on here, I believe. Maybe his second. I think it's his second. Toronto great for the Raptors. I don't care what Drake says. Toronto great for the Raptors. One of the best to ever play in their history. Played alongside Kyle Lowry and a bunch of other guys for that team. Pascal Siakam. You know, unfortunately, he was traded the year they won a championship. They've been called LeBronto plenty of times, but, you know, played for the Spurs. Most recently before this year, most recently played for the Chicago Bulls. And now he plays for the Sacramento Kings. And he's playing alongside one of the other clutch players in the league, De'Aaron Fox. If you don't know who I'm talking about now, then that means you don't watch basketball. It's DeMar DeRozan. Why is DeMar DeRozan being talked about? Well, he's top 10 in fourth quarter scoring this season. Yes, DeMar DeRozan. at one point, he had 47 points in the fourth quarter just this season so far. I'm pretty sure he has more than that, but that was so far this season. He's averaging 25.3 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, almost 3 steals, and shooting 52.5% from the field. The only player with more total steals this season is his duo, his backcourt duo, De'Aaron Fox. %52 from the field is what he's shooting right now. Even though they lost last night, he only put up 13 points. He's been balling this year so far. He's been doing his job. So DeMar DeRozan, keep doing your job. Kings are happy they have you. Welcome. Okay. That's the last of the dogs. Now we got to talk about the dog of the week, or as I would say, the big dogs. It is none other than the only undefeated team in the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers have the most wins to start a season, the second most wins to start a season in the last 20 years, trailing only the 73-win Warriors from the 2016 season, who started off the year with 24 straight wins. The Cavs now have won 10 straight games. They're 10-0. Won every game they played this year. It's a franchise first, and the road record of 5-0 is also a first. The Cavs just seem to be unstoppable right now. The Cavs are number one in offensive rating, number one in points per game, top 5 in assists per game, 4th in steals per game, 6th in blocks per game, number 1 in field goal percentage, number 1 in 3-point percentage, number 1 in true shooting percentage. This team just seems to be the best in the East, or maybe the best in the NBA. I don't know. But someone posed a question, why were they above the Celtics? Well, they're the only undefeated team now, and they are just playing better. Are they better? I don't know. We haven't seen them play each other yet. But right now, the best team in the East resides in Cleveland. It's the Cleveland Cavaliers. The only team that's undefeated this year. And now, I don't know what's going to happen. And we will see how this goes for the rest of the season. Because the Cavaliers are going to be in the playoffs unless something drastic happens. They were in the playoffs last year. They didn't do much to improve this year, honestly. They have the same team, but they're healthy now. Jared Allen's out there. And they're just outscoring everybody. They're playing good. And they're playing good defense, too. So it's not just offense. They're top 5 in offense and top 5 in defense. That's a winning formula. So they are the big dogs of the week. So welcome to the dogs. And welcome to being the big dogs of the week. The Cleveland Cavaliers. That is the show for this week. Thank you all for tuning in. I understand it was a pretty lengthy show, but I had a lot to talk about. And again, love you guys. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Today was a great show. Again, thank you guys. And I will see you guys next week. My guy, you in the doghouse.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.